Hey guys, quick video. Just going to show y'all how I've changed from the tree tubes to the caging after a few years on these fruit trees at the farm. You know, once these trees started getting above the tube, I went ahead and took them off. Wanted to cage them because the tubes tend to make the tree a little lanky. First 2 years I hard prune anyway. You know, I take at least a foot or more off the top of the tree, and then I cut all the limbs back. Try to keep the tree mulched. I did use the tubes to kind of be a critter guard. Just because I already had the tubes, I just cut them, mulched around each tree. You can see this tree, we've had warm weather in Alabama this late winter. So you can see this tree's already starting to come out. So that's why I went to cages. I used a wider cage because once these limbs start growing out, you know, you don't want them to grow through your cage. So I'm using 4-foot cage, and once the limbs start getting above the cage, you know, they'll grow up enough that the deer shouldn't get to them. This is limb spreaders I've bought to try to keep the limbs. You know how on fruit trees, especially pears, these are pears, they tend to want to grow more in a vertical. See how that one's already starting, if you can see it up top. So as these limbs get a little stronger, I put limb spreaders. You want the limbs to be as horizontal as you can get them. That way when you start flowering in a couple of years and fruit starts to come on, less likely that your branch is going to break. It's strong in that direction. So I'll take these off, you know, at the end of the year. They should be formed enough. And then and each year, you know, I've even prune the limbs back. You know, this was way out here and I went ahead and pruned it back. Don't be afraid to prune these trees. This is a 2nd-year tree, but some of these trees I have are 3rd-year trees. And you know, you want to make sure you're pruning them so the root base can catch up with the height of the tree, and that's going to give you a stronger tree too when it does start to produce fruit. So that's where I am with them, and that's kind of how I caged them. You know, everybody does it a little different. I wanted to make the cage a little wider. So anyway, I changed from tubes to cages after the first 2 years when the tree got above the tube, because it tends to make the tree real lanky, leggy, you know, and you want a stronger base. And so that's why I've gone to cages now. But that's all I've got.